Hello and welcome to F YouTube, the segment that you're watching right now with your face. First up, Julia, who...
Booked to stay in a hotel in London.
Okay, so she's in England. See if you can guess her consumer grade. Go.
Returning boiled sweets.
Big Ben, not actually that big.
You're right to well being the Queen!
When I made the booking, I was asked for a pre-authorisation on one of my cards for a security deposit.
Ah, the old security deposit. You know, the one that they make you pay even though you have no intention of drinking from the minibar or trashing the hotel room. And even if you tell them that, they bring up that one time on the night of the Logies when, and by the way, this is all allegedly, you drank the entire minibar and trashed the hotel room with a goat and the goat's handler, who, you know what, it really must be said, fluids undetermined by the coroner as biological. Anyway, look, the point is, you almost always have to pay this deposit when you check into a hotel. And usually, you get it back a couple of days after you check out, except in cases like Julia's.
2 weeks later, after I'd checked out, the money was still frozen. I contacted the hotel, who told me to contact my card issuer, and they told me they were still waiting on the hotel.
Now, eventually, Julia got her money back.
In the end, it took several weeks after checking out.
But a few people have contacted us with similar problems, so we thought we'd make this handy guide.
Credit card pre-authorization, and you!
Pre-authorization, or pre-auth as the kids call it, is where a third party, in this case a hotel, that could be a hire car company or whatever, asks your bank to freeze a certain amount of your available funds or credit to be made available, and this is just an example, to the hotel in the case that you, say, smash an expensive vase in your room or trying to retrieve a wayward goat. Again, for example. And the idea is that once it's clear that the additional charges won't be made by the merchant, the money should be unfrozen in a timely manner. Except, of course, when it's not, like Julia's wasn't.
So who was actually responsible for the hold-up?
See, now, here's where it gets slightly complicated. Some card providers, like Westpac, will automatically unfreeze the funds if the hotel hasn't made a charge after a few days. But there are others, like CBA, and they say they need to wait until the all clear from the hotel. Now, the Financial Ombudsman Service tells us that it's the hotel's responsibility to get it unfrozen for you, even if it's the bank that's dragging its feet. It's their job to chase them. We're going after him!
I'm worried that my little hat will fall off.
Here's the thing, just because it's the hotel's responsibility, that doesn't mean that they'll be the fastest at it. And so FOS says that if the hotel isn't being helpful, you should bypass them and talk to your bank directly about a chargeback. But here's another thought. This here is what ancient civilizations called cash, and while these quaint tokens might look silly, they can still be exchanged for goods and services. In fact, they can be used as a security deposit, and that way you can cut the bank right out and get your cash back on checkout. Now, we asked the Accommodation Association of Australia what they reckon of this plan, and they told us that
individual hotels may offer to take security deposits by cash, but there is no obligation to accept this form of payment.
so it's up to them. But we reckon that if you want to put your deposit down in cash, then you should be given that option. Although if you do that, some hotels will ask for a larger deposit than they would with card. All right, Tim, let's hit the Hilton. Come on. Finally tonight, it's Friday. No, sorry, it's not Friday, it's Thursday tonight, but the person writing in is called Friday. They contacted us on a Wednesday. Do you know what? I'm just gonna stop saying days. So this person bought a dress from the online fashion giant ASOS, and when it arrived, I don't know what day it arrived, they found that it had this tag.
Please do not lose me. Once removed, this item cannot be returned.
Now, the do I need the tag still on it if I want to return clothes question is as old as commerce itself.
Me need to return. You know that tag. Me no need that. This outrage. I invent ACCC and complain to it.
And so Friday, the answer is simple. If you are returning the dress because you changed your mind about it, then it's actually really up to the company what rules they want to apply to that particular transaction. But if it's got a fault or a defect, then no tag made by man or God can stop you from getting a refund. But the tag doesn't really make that distinction, does it? It's just a tag. In fact, in our view, it's more a teeny little no refund sign, which you may recall are illegal. Now, ASOS tells us
We have 850 brands on ASOS, but all of them fit under our own returns policy.
well, okay, sure, but I mean, that's not really the point, is it? A person reading the tag doesn't know that, so we're actually really happy when they told us that.
We are looking into this with the brand now and will also review the labels on our other branded product ranges.
So, what's the moral of this ASOS fable? Well, it's that a sign or a tag or an extended warranty or anything that the seller tells you can't void your consumer rights. So, even if that goat wasn't fit for purpose, I could still return him even though I've taken off his tag.
Goats don't have tags, Ben.
Then what did I tear off? I am so sorry. Until next week, good night.